Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause.
Okay guys, welcome back. This video, I guess, I unfortunately didn't get any kind of vlog footage of me through the night with what was going on. We're running the TQ on a pretty skeleton crew. I kind of prefer that just a little bit sometimes, just kind of because we were prepping to go to the Nationals. I just wanted to be sure that everything that was being done, either I was overseeing or doing. Doesn't take much to run a TQ on that side note as well, so kind of between me, mum, dad, and Amy kind of wandering in and out, we seem to get most of the stuff sorted. So, but yeah, a big part of this meeting for us was just running this new engine that we've got in. Obviously, last time we ran the TQ, you all saw the video when it expired in a pretty big way. So, a bit unfortunate in that sense, and especially that our nationals are in roughly 3 weeks' time from now, kind of thing. So. A big part of that is just make sure we get a good run and make sure the engine runs well and everything else that goes with it. Also, kind of behind the scenes stuff that people probably aren't too aware of that's going on behind in the class at the moment is SNZ is cracking down on ECU checking. What that means is the computer that runs the engine has to be factory and can't be tuned at all. There is certain things you're allowed to adjust, which is more or less, they call it a fueling map, which basically is almost like tuning a carburetor, or what you would do to tune a carburetor, but with electronic fuel injection. So it's a good chance to give, or obviously get our stuff checked before we go to the Nationals as well, and know that it's all going to run well now too. So we'll finish the intro off here and get to the first heat. run. We started 9th, pretty deep, and the track was definitely tough and challenging. Like it was quite hooked up in patches, but also very, very slick in patches as well. So what that was happening was it meant like if you couldn't kind of get offline too easily and just drive around people. So very tough and technical track. We went forward probably 3 or 4 cars, and then unfortunately trying to get past one more car, they kind of made a mistake, wobbled, and then got wheeled, and we kind of became victim of the car getting wheeled. So I think we lost 2 or 3 spots just in that alone, and then managed to claw back 2 or 3 of those back. But overall we probably lost an extra 2, maybe 3 spots, so we should have been up, and we finished 7th. So probably wasn't the points we needed or hoping for in that first heat, but like I say, the big emphasis on this meeting was more or less just giving the car a good run. So it was actually a good chance to give the car a good kind of run with how on and off the gas we were for how it took throttle and did that too. So super stoked with how that went. Heat 2, obviously started off grid 8, very different heat to our first one. Felt like the seas parted in the first couple of laps and pretty much drove to 3rd straight away. We end up basically behind Kate and Jack after a lap or 2, and kind of just they were going at it pretty hammer and tong, and kind of bought our time with both them, and I think it was Kate slipped up. Yeah, we managed to scoot under her and then managed to get around Jack almost within a lap as well. So then kind of set sail for the lead. It was, again, another good chance to give the car a good run. It's probably the complete flip side to the first heat where we're doing a lot of throttling of the engine. This was more or less quite some good wide open pulls, and I think we managed to pull out like a 3-odd second lead over the last, I think, 6 laps or something of the heat. So managed to really stretch the legs on the car and then on the engine. So I'm pretty happy with how that went. And by the time we got all our points in for the heats, we ended up qualifying second. So we qualified second, and Regan Tyler selected 2 to start. So we actually started out of pole even though we qualified second, but nevertheless, qualifying behind Regan's usually not a bad thing with the way they're going at the moment.
Peter, back in the TQ tonight after running close in the midget, but I understand you'll be ready for 2 nights' time to change the number on the back of the tank.
Yeah, a bit of unfortunate circumstance at the Bay Park with the midget. So, and like I said, just didn't have time to get the car sorted again to be back here tonight. So we'll be back for the Nationals as a midget, but it's awesome to be here in the TQ. Obviously, a big part of this was actually just having a bit of a shakedown. Then the last time we ran here, we had a motor issue with the TQ, so just trying to get shook down for the Nationals, and we'll take a second to Regan just for a bit of a shakedown run. So I think we're in a good position come Nationals.
Absolutely. One thing is Regan did make a point of saying that you perhaps prepare everyone's shocks better than you prepare your own.
Yeah, unfortunately, I kind of prioritise their stuff, and they've got the latest development stuff that we're just going through at the moment, and I haven't even got it on my car yet, so maybe Regan got lucky this time that I'm not that prepared and haven't got my own stuff sorted, so there's still more in the tank for us.
Good man. Ladies and gentlemen, second place, Peter Honeybell. TQ.
So with the feature run and done, we obviously had a first start, starting off pole behind alongside Regan. One funny thing is I've got the car in his seat. Chris Lane, his seat's still in the car at the moment. And funny enough, he's just a little bit taller in the body than me. So one thing I find is that the headrest just catches my peripheral vision. So funny enough, I was actually hanging back to be able to see Regan in my sight for when he took off. So I didn't get called for jumping the start. And funny enough, they actually called Regan back for jumping the start. So bit of the irony in that, and there's no malice or foul play in that. I definitely put my own hand up to kind of, I wasn't sandbagging or anything, but so they did call back the start, and obviously in the second start round I was a bit more vigilant to try at least keep the car a bit more even on par, because I knew it'd be typical that Regan would probably just do a normal start again, and I'd probably end up getting him sent back a row. So there was all that to the start of the feature, but we kind of trailed Regan into the first corner. Again, it was, we weren't going to put it all on the line for, no more than chocolate fish. So I kind of followed him into the first corner side by side, and he I guess part of him picking number 2 off the start was you do get that momentum run off turn 2 by the time if you can follow each other in side by side. So kind of just carried the momentum off 2, and we settled in behind him for most of the race, well, all the race for that fact. It felt like he kind of pulled out maybe a 1 or 1.5 second gap for most, or probably the first half of the feature. I felt through the middle of the feature, I felt like we were probably quite good, and probably coming off turn 2 a little bit better than him. But ultimately, they were definitely a lot tighter. I know that for sure. Just looking at what tyres they had on the car and stuff. So kudos to those boys. They had the car probably better over the whole race. We were definitely a bit more on the freer side. I was a bit more probably timid and just making sure we didn't turn the car over, being that Nationals are only 3 weeks away. And we're here to more or less just run the motor. So I'm pretty stoked to run second to them for most of the race. It's probably a good chance to kind of move around a little bit, try some different lines too. So the track got quite technical. You'd almost enter 2 or 3 lanes wide, and then diamond back across kind of where the grippy patches were. That would kind of like slingshot you off. So definitely a driver's track, and one that you could really use your head on to stay on top of. So got pretty interesting in the last 2 or 3 laps as lap traffic came up. So as I mentioned in the earlier heats, you couldn't really just drive around to where you needed to be to make your speed or make the grip. So you really had to kind of like set yourself up, on the straightaway to where you want to be on the corner, especially if you're pulling up on cars. So it was a lot to get the ticker around and kind of keep you thinking as you're going the whole time. So end up finishing second in the end, which, like I say, to be honest, I was pretty stoked with. Just knowing that we hadn't really gone all out setup wise and everything else. And then to follow that all up, they did a top 5 check of the ECUs post race, and the normal scale the top 5 as well. So the bonus in that is we got checked, and everything came back sweet as. So it puts a lot of confidence in us that we're good to go come the Nationals in this 3 weeks time that are coming up. So definitely feel like we're in a good position for that coming up. So can't wait for that, and we'll sign this video off here, and I guess the next video out will be the New Zealand Midget title, which is like I say in a day's time from now. So this video will be probably 2 or 3 days away from being up, the New Zealand Midget title, but like I say, when you see this one, 2 or 3 days away, and you should see the New Zealand Midget title. So thanks for hanging around, guys. Another thing too I should probably just emphasize too is the 55% that haven't subscribed already. Be cool if you could drop down and subscribe. We're not far off that 1,000 number. I know last time I checked, I think we're at now 901. So I was really hoping in my head to get to that 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I knew it was going to be a big push because we were talking about 300 to 400 odd subscribers in that 2 to 3 month period, but definitely got super close up and got up to that 900 number. So hopefully, like I say, you guys just drop down below, hit the subscribe button, costs you nothing. So and it'll give you all the updates on when we're posting our stuff and what's going on, and hopefully it should show up for you a lot more easier on the YouTube homepage and everything else. So just again, thanks guys for following along with the journey that we're on, and look forward to see you in the next one.